Hey guys, thanks for dropping by. It's Marty Smith for blockheadpoker.com. Today's lesson is about patience. Patience plays a big role in online poker, and the lack of it actually often leads to other critical errors. If you can't get your head around waiting for the right opportunity, rather than looking to force a win in online poker, you're probably just going to be one of those reloading fish, supporting the system for the rest of us. And hey, you know what? I'm okay with that. But if you want to improve your game, watching videos is one of those ways you can do it. Starting with this one, where I catch this blockhead playing the first couple of hands in a sit-and-go tournament, and basically he spews away his buy-in in the first few minutes. So let's watch what he did wrong and try and figure out his behavior. Okay, an under-the-gun player raises 3 times the big blind, and our blockhead flat calls from middle position. And no, we don't know that's an error yet, because I might do the same thing with a low to medium pair, which is okay. The play comes around to me in the small blind, and I decide to fill up with Queen 10 suited, getting a 2.5 to 1 odds here. Not a bad hand, not great, but has the potential to score a big win against weak opponents, especially in the low limits. Now, a fold here is acceptable too, especially if you want to wait a few hands to start profiling your opponents. And look at this, the big blind calls as well, which is rather standard for a lot of hands because he was getting great odds. So, pot's 360 now, and what do you know? Look at that, I completely missed the flop. Yes, for all of you donkeys out there, this is a miss. You are not on a draw here unless you get a free card. But, so I just check. The big blind checks, and under the gun then puts out a bet about 2/3 a pot. Rightfully he should. Blockhead calls, and both blinds fold, so the pot's now 900. Now, if Blockhead is a winning player and he makes that call, I gotta be worried if I just have top pair on the board, if I'm the under the gun better. Another jack on the turn, and if Funky over here has ace king or ace queen or another weak ace, that jack could be a worry considering the flat call on the flop. But he bets out again, this time less than 1/3 of the pot, really small bet. And another flat call from the blockhead, making the pot 1380. 1380, hey, 1380, hey, 1380, hey. Did I mention the blinds are like 15 and 30 here? Sure looks like they both got a piece of this flop. However, the 7 of clubs on the river looks like a brick. Now, if blockhead here was drawing for a straight or a flush, that just missed him. So the under the gun player puts out a value bet, about 1/3 of the pot. Now, even though this may be one of those plays where he might come over the top on the river with a full house, instead he actually just folds. Now, because he just folded after spewing 600 chips, basically tells me the best hand he could have was a straight or a flush draw, or, God forbid, an underpair. So we'll put a big error on him for that one, for calling a weak drawing hand from middle position. If he had something else, that would even be worse for him there. Either way, we know right now he is a weak player with little self-control after seeing him just play one hand. So you may notice in this video I'm trying to protect his identity because we don't want really people to know how bad he is if you haven't played him. So we'll put a blockhead protector on him. There. Now, bad starts in tournaments really do suck, and we've all been there. But guess what? In this tournament, everyone's still green M-zone. There is no need to go crazy and try and get that back right away. You've got to pick your spots, because really, you can probably see another 20-25 hands from here on before you have to change your game plan. But no, blockhead here raises from under the gun +1, 4.5 times the big blind, which is too big of a raise normally, and it gets folded around to me with my jacks on the button. Now, since I already know this guy to be a blockhead, I call here because I prefer to let these types of idiots just hang themselves. I have position, and the blinds are likely to fold the oversized bet anyway, and thankfully they do. Now the flop is rather good for me, only one overcard, And no, this isn't going to be another how to play pocket jacks video. The pot is half the size of Blockhead's stack, so he shoves. Actually, I think that's a good play, because if I did not have a pocket pair, this would probably be a bad call by me if I didn't have a king. But I do have a pair. And at this point, if he would push with top pair here based on his redonkulous play the first hand, I think this is a positive EV call for me. In spite of the thin 1.4 pot odds it's saying in Tournament Indicator, even though it's early in the tournament, you know, he literally could have anything based on what I've seen so far. Sometimes you just get an instinct for spotting bad players with or without profiling software, which in this case, like I said, I mean, Tournament Indicator hasn't even really kicked in yet. I'm just getting odds information here. Bad players want to win the tournament within the first hour or even sooner, like this guy is trying to do. Sometimes they do donk up. We've seen that. That can be aggravating. So let's just take a look at his shark scope. Again, I'm going to cover his name so you don't see who it is. Oh, I mean, come on, man. This is just sad. This blockhead doesn't even want to get better. I would feel much better about him if this was just his entertainment, to be honest, but most online players actually do want to win, so my guess is that he's drinking Miller High Life. So after a few seconds, I just called, and look at what he's playing, 9-4 suited. Oh my God. So he raised from EP with a weak hand. He raised too much, and he's shoving into me, you know, with a good chance that I already have him beat. You know, hold him, and there it is. Thank you, blockhead, and good night. Another blockhead gone, packing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to drop by blockheadpoker.com and pick up my free ebook, The Top 10 Mistakes in Online Poker, and how you can win money from the donkeys who will never learn.